Hi, I'm Rivki Rose Training, and today we're going to be talking about creating a social narrative around some of the big community development themes. So whether we're talking about economic regeneration or co-production, we know that we need to provide an evidence base to back up the points that we're talking about. Now usually we're talking about looking at statistical evidence, so for example the census statistics, employment and unemployment rates, inward investment, migration to and from an area. But there are other ways that we can look at collating evidence too. So for example, looking at creating a social narrative. Now for this, we're looking at actually talking to people who are affected by the changes that are taking place. So we could be looking at the impact on their employment, their confidence, their self-esteem, their family relationships, and even how they look at the world. So to do that, we're going to look at an economic regeneration project here in Banwin in the Dilys Valley. The Dev Workshops are a well-documented project that started off as a lifelong learning centre and has gone on to make a massive impact on the local community.
I first became involved with the centre following a chat with some friends who were currently doing some courses here, and they sounded really interesting, and at the time they were very much geared towards women. Socially at the time, a lot of men were, becoming unemployed in the area due to closure of industry, particularly mining. And there was a real kind of drive to try and retrain women in the area. And so this centre was kind of one of the pioneers, really, of that kind of thing, getting women sort of to feel more valued, giving them skills that they could go out into the workplace then and bring a kind of more money home to the family then, isn't it? Initially, when I first came, I was just, blown away by the spirit of the place. At the time that I did the course, I got divorced. And I was bringing up two small children on my own. So for me, it was a lot of things that were changing, So all of a sudden, I was more in control of every aspect of my life. As a mother of two small children, retraining and changing careers. It gave me so much more than just a learning environment. It was all new skills. I think it did actually change my personality in a sense, in that for a long time I'd been very kind of, happy in my ignorance. But yeah, it was a big deal for me, personally.
Through economic regeneration, we want to strengthen the local economy whilst transforming lives. In doing this, it's really important that we look at the value of existing skills that people have and are developing, in addition to looking at what skills we can bring into the area.
Following on from the course then, I kind of carried on my job at the local factory. But because I'd created sort of a group of friends here and became friendly with some of the teachers, when a job became available then in the library, because they were having a refurb and they were kitting out the whole centre, the first person that came to their mind for the library job was me. And I'd also volunteered some time at the South Wales Miners Library. And of course I'd done this computer course, so that was perfect because the system at the time of the library was a very basic automated library system. So so I got the job.
Understanding the challenges faced between generations and the skills that different generations have is key to targeting initiatives and access to resources in the right place. And when we're talking about resources, we are of course talking about education and training too.
Well, I started using the centre in 1990, following redundancy. Having worked on the doorstep for 20 odd years, I was completely lost and was going to travel to try and do some courses in a different field. But anyway, I happened to be in the Dev one day and they were mentioning they were doing spreadsheets and IT was... Well, I'd used a computer, but only in my own field, and so they talked me into come in and I went along and thoroughly enjoyed it, and ended up actually taking another job, doing accounts, you know, so yeah, I really benefited. Yeah, a lot of advantages for using the centre. You come to do a course and then you see other courses, other things going on. So I joined other courses as well. Personal impact, I was completely lost, having been made redundant. Thought being at home was going to be wonderful. So coming along here, met new people, and there isn't anything else in the community. It was right on my doorstep. I was amazed, you know. So yes, there have been a lot of changes. Obviously, the building itself has almost doubled in size. A lot more courses available. A lot more other things going on as well. The cafe brings in quite a lot of people who then see the adverts for different courses, so that encourages more people. And yeah, a lot of people that I know of my age now come and do IT, photography, iPad, you know, everything that comes out new, they put a course on. Oh, the centre's changed a lot of people's lives, yeah, for the good. People who didn't have the opportunity, younger people in particular, maybe had children young, never thought they'd be able to go ahead and qualify for anything. The creche is here, so the children are taken care of, and they've done courses and had degrees, you know, which is absolutely marvellous.
Economic regeneration is often about developing a wide range of activities and initiatives that are aimed at creating not just wealth but also long-term economic well-being. So it's important that the initiatives are relevant, appealing and targeted to the right members of the community.
What first brought me was I met my girlfriend who's grown up around here, and she said, you know, you're not doing much right now. Why don't you go down to the Dove and see if there's a course running? And I said, you know, what's the Dove? And I signed up for courses, and I still do 6 years later. So, you know, it's really, really good. It's fun. The first time I come down the Dove, I didn't know what to sign up for, and I saw on the wall that they're doing free film courses, make your own short films. And I thought, oh, I never tried that. That sounds pretty cool. So I signed up to that, and I completed that, and I made a documentary. That was really good, really fun. And then after that, I thought, that was pretty good. I feel good about myself. You know, I've done something worthwhile. I learned something. So I asked around. I looked on the boards and I asked in the office. And then next thing you know, I'm doing this course and that course and this course. And now I've got qualifications. I've got my newest one was a HNC in further technology, doing web design and Photoshop and video editing. And now I teach IT because they knew I was good with computers, which I picked up in here. I didn't know nothing about computers until I come down here. And then someone dropped out of teaching the class. So they said, Gareth, do you want to teach the class? I thought, yeah, I ain't done that before, a bit of experience. So I started teaching the class. And that's only 10 weeks of it. But I really enjoyed it. And then another job came up teaching, and they said, you know, Gareth, you've done pretty well before. Do you want to do this next one? So I said, yeah, why not? You know, and that went really well. And then, you know, I'm still teaching, you know, and it's pretty good. I love it. And all the skills I've done with that, I learned in the Dove, every single one of it. And I'm really proud of that. Yeah, I mean, if the Dove wasn't here, you know, who knows what I'd be doing, because the Dove's given me a lot of opportunities to improve my life as well as those I teach.
Like all community development activities, economic regeneration is no different in terms of needing to develop successful partnerships with other providers and organisations.
I think our role here has been great because we've been able to bring a little bit of support out into the community from the university, which, you know, I know the students appreciate. You know, doing a part-time degree gives them so much more than just a certificate at the end of it, a degree. It's a social thing. It's for their own pleasure. Then it gives them, you know, opens their eyes to so much more. But yeah, you know, some of these people that attend the course, they make lifelong friends. You know, very much like young people going to university make lifelong friends. I think the collective sort of studying together and learning together really builds up strong relationships. You know, some people, they've completely turned their lives around as a result of doing some of the courses. And it has, you know, the progression in their life then. You know, very often you'll find somebody will finish the part-time degree and then they're like, you know, I've got to do a master's now because I can't stop learning. I mean, it's become very much part of their daily routine. But I think, you know, some of the greater changes are within themselves. You know, as you say, some people, I've seen people come in with very little confidence about their ability, hardly any IT experience, no experience of writing an essay from school, you know, and yet complete a degree and get a first, you know. In some respects, the Dove workshop has put Banwin on the map a little bit, you know. But I think it's also shown other communities that you might be, you know, right up there, stuck up in the hills, but it doesn't mean that, you know, there's nothing there.